Welcome back, students. In this video we are going to understand the water management in ancient period and thereafter the water management in the present period. In the previous video we learnt about the problems scarcity of water. Let us understand water management in ancient period. Here you can see a civilization, a village area in this image where the water is present and the people are using it. Water conservation. It is considered as a permanent solution to the drought situation. Water conservation, to conserve, to save the water. Water conservation through water can slow the water problem permanently. Every drop of rain can be used if water conservation works are carried out in different parts of the state. If the policy of recharging of wells, deepening and widening of canals means nullas, diversion of water using small dams in some places is implemented, the problem of water can be solved permanently. So this passage is telling us the ideas how to solve the water problem. Next passage, water conservation, groundwater recharge. As we know, we recharge our mobile phones, and this word we are very familiar with. Here, recharging the water means restoring the water in the resources. How can we do it? Let us see. Groundwater recharge not only increases the groundwater level but also allows proper use of rainwater. The government, NGOs and all of us need to take initiative to recharge the wells and tube wells to effectively increase the groundwater level. Now the wells, bores, these are the sources which extract water from the ground. Whatever groundwater was present, that we used. And now it is the time to recharge these resources, and if we recharge, the groundwater level will also increase. How can it be done? Recharge of tube well. Now to stop water pollution, here you can see recharge of tube well is showing us some pipes which are going downwards in the tube well, and these pipes will release the water in the tube well. To stop water pollution, how to stop? Citizens should not perform rituals in rivers, streams, springs or wells. Any rituals such as immersion of idols or such rituals should not be performed in the water bodies, and thereby we can save the water. The pollution should be curbed, it should be avoided. Tube wells etc are in the flow of drinking water and should not immerse the objects obtained through it. Water should be used sparingly. We should spare water every time. We should think that how can we save, how can we save the water always, and whatever source is available, it should not be used for unnecessary things. We should always think of saving the water. Disposal of substances like waste discharge from factories, hazardous chemicals, hazardous liquids, sewage etc should be done in such a way that it does not harm the environment. Polluted water should be treated and reused. Now whatever waste product is released in the water bodies or hazardous means harmful liquids or sewage, the wastage which we leave in the water bodies, it should not be left. And the polluted water can be recycled, we can purify it and we can reuse it. Here in this image you can see in a water body so much waste is there. This waste is of plastic bottles and non-degradable material. If such material saturates on the surface of water or inside, The aquatic animals also die due to this pollution. So we should be careful about it. Water pollution. Now, economical use of water in agriculture. Economical use means agricultural land produces the crop and the crop goes to the homes of people. Drip irrigation, sprinkler irrigation, micro irrigation methods should be adopted to avoid wastage of water in agriculture. Irrigation is a process of providing water. For this, along with orchards, government subsidy of 75% to 100% of the cost should be provided to the farmers for drip irrigation. Now, farmers are also not efficient to implant these methods. This is why the government should also help them. This suggestion is given in this passage. Sprinkler irrigation and micro irrigation as per the requirement of all types of crops. So the different crops need different types of irrigation, means the providing of water. We use vegetative or polythene cover around the fruit trees to prevent wastage of water through evaporation. So the polythene bags can be covered over the plants, and this is how the water will not evaporate. Also, in times of scarcity, the number of branches and leaves of the tree should be limited so that orchards will be able to withstand less water as evaporation decreases. Orchards are the gardens of fruits and flowers. So in this, they are saying that unnecessary branches and leaves should not be there, so that the water will be used in less quantity. Sprinkler irrigation and drip irrigation methods are given here. The first one is sprinkler irrigation. From upside the water is being sprinkled, and drip irrigation, in this drop by drop the water is provided to the stem, or you can say directly to the roots of the plant. Enhancing public participation. Due to lack of public participation, despite spending thousands of crores of rupees on irrigation, there has not been much progress in irrigation resources and irrigation sector in the state. The government has been providing the economical help, but people and their participation is less in this area. That's why the irrigation process is poor here. It is essential to increase public participation in all of these projects by emphasizing and raising awareness about the importance of water conservation. Public participation for water management, benefit area development, groundwater recharge, farm puddles or ponds, seepage ponds, etc. Only then will water be used properly. So these things should be there economically and in a planned manner. For this, it is necessary to create awareness on a large scale through newspapers, radio, and television. This passage is telling us about awareness among people. People should come forward, take initiative to save the water by the means of correct usage in the agricultural land as well as in the houses. Along with this, there is a need to launch a campaign like Tanker Mukti, means freedom from tankers. Why do people use tankers? Because at many areas the water scarcity triggers the invitation to the tankers with water, and tankers bring sometimes sometimes contaminated water or non potable water. And Jal Samriddhi Gram, water rich villages. This we should support this method on the lines of Sant Gadge Baba, Gram Swachhata, cleaning villages, and Hagandari Mukt, free of open defecation abhiyan. Now sixth one, sewage recycling. Sewage can be recycled by processing it in the same way as paper, plastic, metal. Sewage is a waste material. It can be from the home, it can be from the industries. How can it be recycled? Let us see. About 21% means 13.7 TMC of the water available in Israel comes from wastewater and wastewater recycling. This water is used for agriculture. Now they are saying in Israel 21% water comes from wastewater, means Israel recycles this water which is treated as a waste, and that country uses that water for the agricultural land. In the same way, it is possible to recycle water from the state urban areas as well as from industrial use, but for this the government and local self-governing bodies need to set up a competent system. Full utilization of irrigation capacity. In order to make full use of the constructed capacity of all the developed projects in the storage capacity of the state, it is necessary to reduce the gap between the constructed irrigation capacity and the actual irrigated area by giving priority to the incomplete works of canal and distribution. Now let us understand the seventh point, full utilization of irrigation capacity. Whatever capacity of irrigation means providing water to the plants is there, it should be utilized fully, completely. In order to make full use of the constructed capacity of all the developed projects in the storage capacity of the state, it is necessary to reduce the gap between the constructed irrigation capacity and the actual irrigated area by giving priority to the incomplete works of canals and distribution. Here we have some capacity of irrigation constructed area, but actual irrigated area requires more. This is why the technique is not successful and we need to make it successful. It is partially successful and completely to make it successful we need to take some efforts, and whatever canals and water bodies are there which provide the water for the irrigation, that should be enhanced. Apart from this, if the obligation to complete the irrigation project within the stipulated time is imposed on the contractors, the concerned contractor should be fined and his license should be revoked if necessary. If the contractor doesn't do the work within stipulated time or according to the quality, then we can take the action also against that contractor. Apart from this, instead of discharging water from reservoirs into river basins or rainy days, it should be stored in canals through ponds. So this water can be saved with the help of ponds or canals, and it should not be released in the river. Percolation tanks, ponds, small and medium irrigation projects for water scarcity. Percolation means the water which goes in the land. So such tanks help for the water percolation. Thereafter ponds we can make, and small and medium irrigation projects also we can make. Water is released from the dam into the main canal. At that time, thousands of liters of water from the main canal flows into the soil on both sides and from the bottom. As you know, the canal runs through the city and through the agricultural land. The canal provides whatever water is there in it to its both the sides. On both the sides the land is present. The land requires water, and this excessive water flowing from over the canal goes into the land. The main canals and sub canals need to be well cemented to prevent water infiltration. If the canal is not cemented, not constructed properly in its bed, then the water can contaminate with the soil and it will become infiltrated. Timely maintenance of canals and subcanals can prevent wastage of water. And this shows that we should maintain these canals time by time. Many people leave constructed canals in the same state after its construction, and afterwards they don't pay any attention towards it. It should not be done. If cement pipe or iron pipe is used instead of canals and subcanals, large wastage of water due to stagnation is stopped. Automatic gates should be installed to prevent wastage of water at the time of opening and closing of gates of canals and subcanals, thus saving water. So now they are advising us about iron pipe or cement pipe instead of using the canals. Water audit. In order to use water carefully, tap water meters should be installed in urban areas. Now students, we can imagine how will it be if the taps have water meters. The water meter will count how much water is being used by any person through the tap, and that will bring some regulation on the use of water, and water will not be wasted. Next point. And water bills should be charged according to meters so that people can use water carefully like electricity. And students, let it be informed to you that this process is carried out and this process is running in foreign countries. Foreign countries are more sensitive in prevention of water. This is why they have installed the water meters, and all the taps have water meters. Also, higher water users should be taxed at a higher rate, and wastewater treatment system should be set up from the available funds. Whatever fund we are getting from the water meters, from that fund we should make we should make a system for treatment of recycling the wastewater. Apart from this, water audit should be made mandatory for all irrigation projects. Audit means how much water is coming and how much is being used, how much is being wasted, how is the water being used. Irrigation projects and water supply agencies should be provided with cubic meter measuring devices so that water can be used carefully. This passage is telling us about installing the equipments to regulate, to control the use of water. Ninth point, water literacy. Literacy means the awareness among people about water and its use, considering the availability and need of water, the knowledge and actual action to use the water available in the area carefully and properly can be called water literacy. So this is the information and definition about water literacy. Now this needs to be a mentality in the society that saving water is the greatest asset. It's a property. Now in the society, this mentality should be developed. Water is the most important factor in our life. This is why it should be our greatest asset, our greatest property, because only a water literate society can take a leap towards development in the future. But for that, along with the government, NGOs, media, various organizations and associations need to take steps towards water literacy to make people aware about water. 10th point, at the domestic level. Domestic means the house level. Water saving needs to be done collectively as well as at individual level. We as a family, we think about saving water. So if individual person, every one person of the family decides to save the water, and if that person, every person becomes aware about his own use, how does he use the water or she uses the water, that time the effect should be very obvious. It will be a very good effect if we are aware about our own use. It needs to be done from your own home. By saving the water in our daily work, we can help to reduce the water scarcity crisis in the country, states. Nowadays, adopting some easy ways to save water at home is needed. So this we can exercise now. Is needed. So by saving the water in our daily work, take a small amount of drinking water in a glass. As per need, it save water. Water the garden or field before sunrise and after sunset to reduce water evaporation. Before sunrise and after sunset. Due to heat, the water evaporates, means the water is converted into the vapors, and it vanishes in the air, and this will not provide the correct use of water. This is why the correct use of provided water should be done, and in order to do this, you need to water the plants or garden in the morning or in the evening, means before or after the sunset. Sewage water should be used for garden plants. When washing vegetables, fruits, take water in a bucket and do not wash them under the tap. It saves water. In the morning, while washing your face, avoid wastage of water. While shaving, using a mug instead of running tap water saves a lot of water. Take a bath with a bucket of water. Do not use a shower or running tap. When washing utensils, take water in a bucket and wash it. So many a times they are telling you avoid use of tap water for washing things, for shaving, for washing vegetables. Instead of this, you take water in any pot, such as a bucket, such as a mug. It will save the water. Next, don't wash utensils under the faucet. The tiles and stairs in the house, bikes, cars should not be washed with water. Wipe them with a damp cloth. A damp cloth means a cloth which is soaked in water. Such a cloth we should use. It will save the water. Instead of thrashing the water on the tiles or on the cars, vehicles, it will make the waste of water. The water tank in the house often overflows, and automatic switch off mechanism must be fitted there. Use water carefully and encourage others to do the same.